Morning, good afternoon, hopefully before tonight if you're going to be picking some hockey games because what's going on? It's this day is sports Sprapps, really. It's a lot of action. We're here on Tuesday morning, late in November. We've got some NHL picks to go over. We've got a football game that happened yesterday to go over and a football file. A lot of things going on. So let's talk about hockey. Big slate today. Um, Hockey Foul's been rolling really well over the last few days since done some adjustments, kind of changed some things around, weighting things a little bit more on today's lineup, something that will fluctuate day to day. Not so much on the season stats. I think I put a little more on the goalie or something like that. Either way, it's been working out better. Vegas had a really good day yesterday. Vegas went 5-0. And also we went 4-1 yesterday. We would have won 1.87 units if you played one unit on all these games. We would have lost the Devils game, and the Devils had the lead late in the third and blew it, and then lost it in overtime. So go Panthers! I've been to a few Panthers games this year, I believe, and good for them. So looking overall, the last few days have been better. The win strength has been working better. So what's going on? And point predictions have been better as well yesterday. So today, tons of late games, right? Um, what to take away from this at this point is to trust this win-Y number pretty strongly. However, anything can happen, and the line is super important when it comes to betting. So what I also brought in the version today, and I keep updating these all the time. So if you ever want a current copy of something, I don't always put links up for paying stuff. I just have a million things that I'm doing with it at one time. And if you want one, you have a question for me, send me a question, and I'll be able to answer for you, get you the file. That's how I work. So if you ever wonder where the latest version of anything is, just go to email me like ken@kenbraverman.com or go to kenbraverman.com and you'll figure it out. So today, as we update lineups and do things like that, I added some stuff that's more current, like team ROI history. If you bet this team every single game for the entire season, thanks to Don's Best, if you go to Don's Best's website and get all the data for all the history of games and odds of, they have like different casinos. They are great. Go to Don's Best. They're awesome. You can run a pivot on every team for the entire season. That's how I was figuring out whether or not to bet underdogs, which is not really working out anymore. It had been, now it's about back to even. So, but certain teams get great odds, like Buffalo. Buffalo is the Vegas of 2018, as I have heard someone say, a guest on this show before. So Buffalo's been rolling at 24 games. They're up. That's like 44% ROI, and that is representing itself right here in team ROI history. So uh, they look like a good pick today because they're ahead by win strength, and they're also have a good line of even money. Looking like some goals in this game. Um, Buffalo is strong this year so far, right? So that's cool. So go with Buffalo. We don't have a line on the Ottawa Philly game, but when we do, you're probably going to get a favorable line on Ottawa, unless the people making lines see this video. This should come out to something like this, I would think, because Ottawa's not playing very well, and Philly will have some home money, I feel like, there. So it's something like that, I think. I probably no, I don't like taking Ottawa. They're not. You can see that they're always -6 because they sometimes get favorable lines, but they're not a very good team. Philly can score some goals, I think. Actually, there might be a lot of goals in this game. That's probably actually the play. It's probably the over. Hurricanes, a fun team to watch at +105. Supposed to lose to Montreal in Montreal. Is Carey Price actually playing, or is he hurt? I don't know why. So I mean, look, he's probably playing. Kennelry. Yeah, I mean, Is this 105 enough to try to fight with Carolina in a game against Montreal? Is the negative 25 bad enough? That I don't have an answer to this question yet. That's part of the file I still need to work on. What we can do is we can do fun things like with the parlay card. We'll make this video not like a million minutes long, but we'll try to keep it under 10. But I want to show you how to build a parlay card because I hadn't thought about this and I want to go out to the mountains and just drive in the middle of nowhere and take pictures of stuff because it's fun. And so if I had to make a bet before I leave, right, what do I do? And I definitely think that Buffalo's fun. So you take Buffalo at plus 100. So let's build a parlay card over here and say, yep, Buffalo at plus 100. I want to do 4 teams. 4 teams has been fun. I've hit a 4-teamer before. You can hit 4-teamers. They pay off pretty nicely, depending on what you do. Do we want to do anything Ottawa? I feel like we don't even have lines yet there. Carolina, Montreal, do we want to take Carolina? I wasn't sold on that. Do we want to take any overs or anything here? Now let's just pick teams. Forget about over-unders. Let's pick winners. Winners is actually easier in the long run than picking over-unders, I feel like. I haven't proven that empirically yet, but we'll see. Anaheim and Tampa Bay. Here's a team that has positive ROI. Anaheim is also pretty darn bad. That's why they're like plus 199 to negative 240. Do you take the puck line? Do you take Tampa Bay minus 1.5 because they score so many goals? Seems like a possibility. I think you got to see what that number is if you get a puck line at even money. Well, let's just say Tampa Bay wins at negative 240. This is what the parlay card is for. Okay, so we're going to put Tampa Bay in here at negative 240. So we're going to do just the minimum. If you go to any of these casinos, the minimum bet for a round robin bet like this is $5. So we're going to do 4 teams and see what it comes out to. It'll be a $55 bet with all the different combinations. Arizona and Minnesota. Really likes Minnesota with positive ROI history. Thinks they're going to win this game 4-2. Maranta not playing well. Arizona not. How about Arizona on the road? I didn't look at that number. Minus 185. Minnesota looks like a very strong pick. If I was going down the list, that's one I gotta consider. I have like stage fright when I walk up to the window to make the bet, and I look at the current lines and the cards. I freeze, and I'm like, what did I see in the file? Which is the most solid pick when the lines change and you look at it. I don't know off the top of my head. Colorado and Nashville. Wow, wants like 9 goals almost in this game. Colorado, a lot of offense between these 2 teams. A Colorado at plus 140 seeing this makes me think, why not? They even have positive ROI. They could sneak a win over Nashville, and at plus 140, it's paying off. So this is a sneaky one. I like it. I like it. I'm not done with this parlay card, by the way. I can't, when you go down to 5 teams, it doesn't work yet. It only goes up to 4, I think, maybe. I'm still working on it. What else? Pittsburgh and Winnipeg. Thinks Winnipeg will win this game. Pittsburgh's trying to get off the snide. 7 goals. Yeah, see if you can sneak a 5.5 over. If there's a 5.5 over they're offering in that game, that's interesting. That it likes Winnipeg, but it's too close for my. This is a bad line for only 84.80. I feel like so, but you never trust me. I always trust the file. Knights and Chicago. I like the Knights here. Chicago's not playing well. Vegas is playing well and needs to get some wins. Fleury, look at Fleury's solidness in net. The roster's waking up. We're short 1 guy on the roster count here, but even if this gets up to 60, I like Vegas at 119. I'm going to replace something. I'm going to replace Tampa Bay. Why am I doing that? Because negative 240 doesn't pay, right? So here, 119 changes the parlay payout from something to 324. It happened right here. It changed it from $271 So you could have had $271 or $324. That's like another $50 if you replace Vegas with Tampa Bay and the Knights beat Chicago. I mean, Tampa Bay seems like a much more solid pick over Anaheim. You could replace them here with Minnesota. So what is this at -2? What was it, -220 or 240? That's not that bad. That's with Tampa Bay here. I mean, I liked Minnesota, but Tampa Bay is a more solid pick, I think, than Minnesota against Anaheim, probably. And it didn't cost you that much. So you start to toggle and see also if you win or lose certain games, what happens. Like if you lost that, wow, you're down to only $36 payout supposedly, if that's right. I'm still working on this thing, but it pretty much works. But if you lose one of the ones where you had bad odds, you get $73 on a $55 wager. So it's kind of cool what's going on in here. I do like Vegas, Dallas, and Edmonton. It's favoring Dallas here and giving Dallas a favorable line. I On the road is the only situation. Kudobin is not a good goaltender, letting up 3.1. That's the only reason. But there's no reason Dallas can't win this game, even in Edmonton. I think it's a long trip from the airport to the rink there. I'm not sure, but they can win this game. Also, it wants to see an under here. So that's sneaky. And then you've got no favorable line in the Kings versus Vancouver. Vancouver's positive ROI. Vancouver probably wins this game. So actually, you probably pay the -105 and take Vancouver. So we're at 12 minutes. It says it's going to be less than 10. And then we'll go. What else happened with football? We won the game with Houston. We did. We hit that. Our point predictions were 20-19. So Houston outplayed themselves a little more and held Tennessee off. They're looking like team's going to win that division. You look at our pick history. We had an amazing week. We went 11-4 by win strength, but the point predictions one is really nasty and really awesome because you look at what happened here. We went 12-3, up 4.15 units. But the part of the 12-3 that's so nice is we kicked Vegas's butt on 3 big games and only lost 1 or maybe 2. So we had the Browns over the Bengals, which at +140, we had it in point predictions, and we knew it, really proved it through the math. We had the Bills over the Jags at +145, including me betting it in a 14 parlay and hitting it. We lose the Niners and the Bucks, but it was a conflict in our win strength, and it was a really small percentage, and I really stayed away from it. I didn't play the game at all, so I knew to stay away. But we did lose that game where Vegas beats us in point predictions. So you figure we're 2-1, right? Well, what else did we have? We both lost the Steelers, both Vegas and us. We had Seattle. Where Vegas had Carolina. So that's really a big win for us. That's at +150. And then the only other one we lost was on Thursday, Thanksgiving. We lost the Skins where Vegas had the Cowboys. We had the Skins, but we didn't figure in Colt McCoy appropriately and put -3 interceptions. So, I think that we just really utterly crushed it and hit it hard with the numbers. And I'm excited to see what happens this week. So I'm working on the file today. I'm going to have this stuff. There's an advantage to having this stuff ahead of time because lines will change. So I'm going to run this. If you want a copy, go to KemperAverman.com and you got to talk to me to get it because it's worth something. All right. All right. We're out for now, but may everything be winning that we just keep doing. Let's start to go on. Like I got to do Major League Soccer. I got to do MMA. I got to do probably basketball. There are a bunch of things to do because we have a winning system. It worked for baseball. It's starting to roll for hockey. It worked for football last week. It's been actually we've been winning with point predictions in football since. So let's look at week 6 through week 12. So point predictions. I mean, I'm not abandoning win strength, but point predictions are proving to be better when there is conflict. So using one to reinforce the other. Sorry, I'm gonna keep my head out of the way there. So what this is saying is that we're up 10.88 units. We had weeks where we went 13-2, 8-6. We actually only had one losing week. It was week 10. And then we also changed the way the defensive part of the point calculation happened here in week 11. So these last 2 weeks are pretty interesting as well, to be 20-8. Also, there's a range in how many points we thought these teams were going to win by. And when you collapse that appropriately, a few missing games of data, and you look at just the color on the left of whether or not the game won or not, is it green or red? This is how many points we had the team winning by. To see all this green in a row at these top, like it essentially means you're going, here we hit the first 8 in a row, then we miss one, then we get another 5, then we miss one, then we get another 5, then we miss one, then we get another 6. Sorry, 7. Then we get miss 2, then 3, and then all right. So then we start to get down into more random pattern here, right? But looking at premium games, which is the same way that's premium for points, when it's predicting the winner by more than, that's pretty awesome. More than 10 points, essentially. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if it's predicting more than 10 points, you're crushing it there. The running profit there on that, sorry, we have a running profit to answer that question, is maxing out at like 5.27 here at 11 points. So, and then we have the other way around. Yeah, I've done this before. It maxes at the bottom, yeah, because of the negative points as well. So we got to flip this around and show how this really works. But all I can tell you is that it is really working, and I'm excited about it as we continue to update. So whatever, I'll just keep throwing updates on camperurban.com. So Merry Picks, be winning.